What is hyperdensity? Hyperdensity is the condition in which development occurs vertically, stacking spaces on top of one another at varying heights to allow for light and air circulation, all while preserving the very little land we have left. Good job, humans. See, in a typical suburban context, you might see this. Lots of homes that house 3 to 5 people on average, and the footprint they take up are pretty significant, considering their scale of service. We also see cars, which are the primary means of transportation for this scheme. Now, if we take a look at a densified suburban neighborhood, we have some homes and some mid-rise apartment buildings. Awesome. We're servicing more people using less space. We also see some modes of public transportation, which are useful, but generally underutilized and therefore underdeveloped. Now, the hyperdense condition is characterized by several high-rises of varying heights that service a significant amount of people using a very insignificant footprint. Here, there is a very minimal need for cars because public transportation infrastructures are highly developed and popularly utilized by the public. Okay, so let's look at the impact of hyperdensity a bit more closely. What social impact does it have? Well, for one, high-rise density offers significantly more air circulation and light allowance than low-rise density. Varying heights allow for light and air to move more fluidly, giving everyone more sun, more light, and therefore more happiness. The Farragut Towers are a supreme example of this. Their pinwheel profile provide tons of surface space to welcome in light and ventilate fresh air. Pure genius, those folks. Now, let's consider the environmental impact. Suburban schemes with little to no transportation infrastructure that require individuals and families to travel by car produce significantly more carbon emissions and toxic gases. While trains and buses have the capacity to transport more people all at once, most cars can only transport 5 people. The proposed Brooklyn-Queens connector will do just that. This streetcar system will provide reliable, sustainable, and affordable transportation to over 400,000 residents living along this 11-mile subway desert. Woo-hoo! Another environmental benefit of hyperdensity is its stance against deforestation. The development of new suburbs and the perpetuation of urban sprawl only leads to less natural forests with limited spans. In hyperdense schemes, development occurs upward, not outward, which leaves more space for forests to continue to expand and grow. This is not to be confused by skyscraper forests, which are commonly used in arguments against hyperdensity. When executed correctly, hyperdensity is managed through cap and trade zoning, which allows the free flow of air rights within an urban district, only with an understanding that the overall amount of developable area would be capped. Culture facilities, including museums, schools, and libraries, are essential to remain as low-height structures with exuberant design, resulting in a highly varied urban fabric that preserves access to views, natural air, and sunlight. And finally, let's look at the economic impact. In most suburban conditions, residents leave the suburb and enter the city for work. This takes time, energy, and money. By now, you can probably guess that hyperdense conditions are abundant with job opportunities. Hundreds of companies located throughout numerous high-rises create the perfect storm for employment, and the more people are employed, the healthier becomes our economy.